Hi everyone, this is Total War Therapy, and in this video I want to share with you my thoughts about who can be the best single entity monster added with the last DLC, Omens of Destruction. But before that, don't forget to subscribe. We are close to Christmas, so I wish to you a lot of good quality family time, and let's start. At the third place I decided to put the slaughterbrute, the new big monsters added to Khorne with the Skulltaker part of the DLC. Don't take me wrong, but I think that amongst all the single entities that we got with the previous DLCs, probably since the Silence and the Fury, this is the less charming one. I understand that by lore is the symbol of Khorne, so a huge mass big dude that is bringing destruction all over the battlefield. But I find it less interesting to use compared to the other single entities, and the Khorne is a lot about charging, dealing damage, so is nothing new. A decent armor, I would have expected something more for the speed, melee attack and melee defense that are quite good for a monster of this entity, a weapon strength that is quite peculiar, overall the roster of the other faction, and a decent charge bonus. He has the missile resistance, spell resistance as many other Khorne units, and this particular ability called the Runes of Binding, where basically if the Lord would fall, this unit will start to rampage or just to go away from the battlefield. Anyway, I think he fits the Khorne roster very well, and he offers a good amount of variety, because we have the Bloodthirster that it's, yes, a flying big entity, but is more specialized against the monsters and cavalry, and we have the Soul Grinder that is definitely less resistant and less tanky. At the second place we can find the Thundertusk added to the Ogre Kingdoms. This is a hybrid monster, both missile and melee, and I will explain to you why I think that it's very interesting. It is, in my calculation, probably the fourth most expensive unit in the game, so we expect from it to deal a great damage. And I can tell you that between the range attack that for now it's a little glitch, I will be honest, armor piercing, magical, frostbite, and then the melee stats that are very good, a little less than the slaughterbrute, but the weapon strength has an anti-large bonus and a bigger charge bonus, and still a magical attack, frostbite, with a decent speed and an actually better armor. It's a wall breaker, and I would have expected something more for the range, but you can actually use it as an artillery, as a mobile artillery unit, and when the ammunition are over or the front line of your enemy engage yours, you can just charge around and use it as both as a tank and as a damage dealer. So quite good and effective on every field. I would have liked a creative assembly to make it far more different than the Stonehorn harpoon launcher, but I'm okay with that. After I saw how it performs in the game, I'm quite satisfied with that. At the first place of the podium, in my opinion, there is the Colossal Squig. It's unexpected, but I will explain to you why I think is the best single entity monster added with this DLC. I will be honest with you, it's not a unit that I was feeling missing. I thought that the Greenskins were already in a good state, so I was not expecting and I didn't want any more content for them. But I'm very happy about their addition, and the Colossal Squig was a good surprise. It's a lesser tier, lesser building tier than the other two single entities, the Thundertusk and the slaughterbrute, so a lesser price. It has actually many weaknesses. The armor is quite low, the leadership too. He has the feral rage, so when he will take a lot of damage for 2 times, it will go to rampage. If you don't have the Night Goblin hero to take care of it, he will just lose control and risk to be taken down. It has also this ability called the blow apart, that basically when he will die in an explosion that will deal an incredible amount of damage to all the enemy nearby. So why I think that the Colossal Squig deserves the podium of this ranking? Because given its price, with a speed of 90 and a charge bonus of 75, I can tell you that I had a lot of fun with that. Greenskins are not a faction with a lot of fast units, and having this mid monster that can just run over all the battlefield in a glimpse and charging all the infantry with this big mass and big charge bonus, is quite satisfying. And even the Feral Rage is part of the game. It's funny that you have to be careful to not make him lose control, and when it happened, to defend him very well. And I can tell you that in my Skarsnik campaign, where I had to deal with dwarves a lot of time, having this big single entity that's, yes, is vulnerable to missile, but can just go around from a quarrels to a thunderers in just a matter of seconds, it's quite helpful and effective. Thank you for following me, please consider to subscribe, and see you very soon.